Hello, wonderful people. I am sorry, I'm a few minutes late. I had a VIP client on the phone. So, first thing I'm going to do is I am going to give away some memberships. So, I'm going to give 5 memberships away right now. We're going to see who wins them. So ADMD for Sylvie, Sally, Eat Heavenly Cupcakes Forever. I like that. And Squishy, you all got memberships for a month. So make sure you jump in on the I thank you so much, 008. So make sure you guys look on the membership tab. You get early access to all of my videos. You also get there's a monthly drawing at the beginning of the month. We did it on the second last month, so you'll be able to hit it for next month, where you can get a private meeting with me. And anyone who's in the Tarot Enthusiast, you get a half hour. It is a drawing. You have to be in the chat to win it. Sapper, thank you for being here. Foxy, thank you for being here. I got lots of mods in the chat. Let's get going. So I'm glad to see some different names, new people in here. I'm going to go right over to this. Karen, M, thank you for becoming a member. Wonderful, wonderful. I think I have stuff in my face. So I was just making dinner and finishing up my reading with one of my clients. So one of my VIPs. We're going to be using the Star Tarot today. And we are also going to be using the Tarot of the Unknown. Ooh. So let's see what we got for Karen. I'm new to your channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you're enjoying the ride in the cookie jar. We have a lot of fun over here. We have a great community. So these lives are really fantastic to get everybody together. So reading about your grandson. Let's see what we got. Actually, I'm gonna start you out with the Tarot of the Unknown. I'm jumping right in, kids. Jumping right in. And Grumpy, I did a pop-up reading between my last one and the live. So I did not get to load up the new intro. I got a new intro from Grumpy Sapper. I'm very excited about it. It's really, really awesome. So, and as always, guys, if you'd like to be generous, if you're feeling generous today, go ahead and throw me a super chat, super sticker. The Star. What is going on with grandson? Grandson's going a little bit too quickly for what he should be doing. So we've got the Star here crossed with lack of success. So I have some concerns about that combination. The Sun is in the past. Now the Sun is always good. So there's a good heart under all this, but it looks like he's going too fast in the wrong direction. He's not running toward the future. He's kind of running away from the future in a very, very quick way. The Greg is the hi. The Greg is my husband. He's across the room. So the Greg is the Fool card in regular tarot. So it looks like he's kind of headed in the wrong direction, but he's very enthusiastic about it. So I'm not sure what else is going on here. How does he see himself? He sees himself as super creative, able to accomplish. Others are seeing him needing more support. Hopes and fears is that he's acting without really thinking. He's kind of running on a motor. So I don't know if he's little. There's a very like kind of ADHD kind of quality about this that I'm reading. If he's a little bit older, it feels like a little bit of a failure to launch. So what can we do to kind of correct his ship here, his course? He needs to run into a wall. So not literally, but he needs to run into a wall that's going to stop him, something that's big enough to stop him, but not something that is disruptive enough to upset him. So let me see. Just seeing if you commented in here. Just checking. Oh, everybody's being so polite. Everybody's being so polite in the comments. This is so nice. So nice. So I would say this is a mentor situation if he's a little bit older. So if he's a little bit older, he needs somebody who's been in the same boat as him. If he's a little bit younger, it feels like we need to bring in another party that maybe is a little bit more knowledgeable. So Karen, I hope that helps. So we are going to go over to, and I want to thank 008 for all her awesome starring of the questions here. It is a huge help to me. So Kimberly, Tennessee Walton. So let me see. I'm just going to get rid of some of these questions here, so I don't have to see that. You'd like to ask about your son and his job prospects. He's trying to move up in a very important position. One of our nation's heroes. Thank you very much for his service. Where will he be located geographically? Oh, this is a tough one. Okay. This is more of a remote view question. Let me see what I get. Did you turn the heat up on the fireplace? Gregory? Oh, he can't hear me. So, near or far? I think it's going to be a little bit further away. Island nation? But it is someplace that he has been before, I believe. It's an island nation. I'm feeling South Pacific. I think South Pacific. What is that? Like Australia, New Zealand kind of area. That it definitely feels balmy. Let's put it that way. So, but I don't know if that is confirmed because there's also an indication that he would be on the east side of South America too. There's another outpost there that is possibly a location for him. But I do think he's gonna be a distance away, and it is gonna be in a foreign country. Blah, 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 blah. But both seem to be agreeable places. Let's put it that way. What does he need to know? I don't know if he's going to love the position. I think he is moving into this position with a great deal of enthusiasm. But one of the things that's going to happen is he's going to, sorry guys, I still have a cold. So he is going to find out that he is not as trained as possible. So he's Richard Branson says if you ever get an opportunity, take the opportunity, learn on the job. And I think that that's going to be this kind of a situation. So I think he'll have that moment where he feels very consciously incompetent, and then he'll make a judgment about whether he wants to stay in that position. So I hope that helps. It's something that he really wants, though. So I totally get that. So I hope that is a good answer for you. So I'm saying either like Australia, New Zealand, like that South Pacific area, or there may be another location on the east coast of South America. So I know those are two weird ones, but and Sally, I want to thank you for your contribution. That really helps. You are fantastic. No reading, but I'm going to throw you a couple cards anyway. So what do you need to know to get through the rest of your week? No conflicts, new starts. So keep to yourself. So there's whatever conflicts have been going on, if there's been any discussions or disruptions between you and other people, that it's no muss, no fuss. You actually are going to just kind of make anew. Things are going to be fine. But taking some time out for yourself and just chilling out for a little while is a good idea. after the storm, So thank you again. I think you are fantastic. Sally is here a lot of the time, guys. She's a member and a fantastic person. Dave Murphy. It's just past midday on midday Thursday in Sydney. So good day. Do I believe people had previous lives? Oh yeah. So yes, I just this past last year got certified as a past life regressionist. So I do hypnosis. I have a meeting that people can schedule that for. I can do it over the internet. The way that I do the past life readings is I tap into your past life. So, if I'm doing cards, I do it that way. But I do have a special meeting in my link down below in my scheduler where you can schedule a hypnosis appointment with me. I like to put some bookends on that appointment because sometimes we do go over, and sometimes people, get into some real wild stuff. So I like to go as slow as possible. I also record those sessions so that you can go back and you can kind of hear the things that you say. You can recall what's going on, and follow the drift. But so I do believe that we have past lives. But this is something neat. A lot of people will, say, "Oh, I was Marilyn Monroe," or "I was David Bowie." Oh, my heart, David Bowie. I was, Elvis Presley, or whom. Not that Elvis is dead. Elvis isn't dead. Happy birthday, Elvis Presley. Oh, it is today, isn't it? Woo! So, him and Scooter were both twins that the other twin didn't survive, and they were both born on January 8th. There's a weird connection with Elvis. That's a friend of ours. So I believe that the universal knowledge that we can tap into is like a piece of fabric. So, if you look at a piece of fabric, there's threads that go through it. And so like Tron, I think you can follow down the threads, and you can actually tap into other people's experiences in their lives. So you can do a little drop in on Marilyn Monroe's life. You can do a little drop in on Elvis's life. It's kind of it's not really your past life, but I think a lot of people will make that mistake sometimes, and they think it's their past life, and in reality, it's not. So, but past lives is something I'm very keen on. What is it, Dr. Brian Weir? He was one of the excuse me, I'm going to mute myself. Sorry, kids. I am suffering from a sinus infection that is being treated, so I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. So, I think past lives very interesting. Dr. Brian Weir wrote some great books on it. He was actually a psychiatrist, legitimate medical person who, in the treatment of his psychiatry clients, saw recurring things and proof of past lives. And so he started to do a lot of research on that, I think in the 70s and the 80s. Dick Sutphin, he passed away just a few years ago during the pandemic, not because of the pandemic, but during the pandemic. He's a great resource for past lives as well. Weiss, thank you. What did I say? Weiss? Yes, it was Weiss. Weiss. I'm sorry. I've been so sick for the last few days. So, yes, very, very, very interesting, interesting stuff there. So, love past lives. So good question. Jen. Hi, Jen. Easy name. And I'm trying to watch the chat on both sides, guys. Yes, Mercury and Leo, it does explain why we're attracted to decades in specific times. Um, sometimes you'll be attracted to the house you used to live in. That's kind of weird. Who is Raymundo? What is going on? Brian Weiss, many lives, many masters. Thank you. Thank you. Will you stay in your current position and for how long? No. So the problem with this job is they kind of keep baiting you. Um, you really don't want to be there. They're not. It's a safe place to be, but they're not really nurturing and cultivating you. You could live out your days there, perfectly happy, but would you be completely fulfilled? No. I do think that I don't know what you do, but I do think that there is opportunity for you to do something that is more fulfilling and you have more agency, more more control over what you're doing. So, um, depending on what you do, if there is a way to freelance on the side, start freelancing a little bit, keep the job until freelance starts to build up for you. So I hope that helps. I don't know. I hope you don't work at like a garbage place and like you'll be running around picking up people's garbage or anything like that. So I think if I had to give you a timeline on this, Knight of Wands, Ten of Axes, Nine of Axes. I'm going to say 6 to 8 months. 6 to 8 months. Like you're already poking around, seeing if there's something out there. You may be able to replace the position, but I think having more agency over yourself is more of what you want to be doing. So it's not a weird random question at all. Did your celebrity crush notice you, and was it me she was pointing at, or was it just my imagination? It's just my imagination. Everybody sing it. So I don't think she could see you. I think the lights were in her eyes. I do think she looked in your direction. I think she was pointing, but that two of wands, I think she was just kind of looking in that direction. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll tell you my Johnny Depp story one day. So, all right. So, Sharon, good to see you here. I think you're a new face. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Here is a crazy question. Will the fires get to Disneyland? I was speaking with my VIP prior to this, and we were talking about the fires that are going on, and they're very curious. I saw some video last night. It was on the Street View, but I think I'm going to need to watch some more videos. Fires get to. Eesh. So this can either be, hi, Jeannie. This can either be one or the other. Okay. So this is either they're safe and it's an institution that's going to be totally fine, or it's going to get there. So let's see. Protected. Disneyland looks like it's protected right now. So I know tonight my VIP was telling me that the winds are going to be over 100 miles an hour. So, I don't know if they're just going to station. Disneyland has their own fire department. So I think they will probably dispatch those guys So I'm going to do a reading on the fire. So we'll have that soon. Have that coming soon. Tomorrow I've got some time to do it. Did Trump antagonize Mexican president? First he's claiming Canada, and then I heard he wants to buy Greenland or something. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to find Chuck Cunningham. I don't know if you guys remember that from the Happy Days. He's in Greenland. No, he's on tour with the Grateful Dead. I wrote a short story back in the day. What's that? Who? Surge. So in like Beverly Hills Cop? No. Taking samples out of the volcano. Oh, that Surge. So I wrote a short story about Chuck Cunningham, who was Richie Cunningham's brother on Happy Days. And they said he went into the army or something, but I said he went on tour. He found the Grateful Dead and he went on tour with the Grateful Dead, and he was a deadhead traveling all over the world. That's my story. Okay, Sonia, we got your question starred. Just be patient, okay, honey? All right. So, did Trump antagonize the Mexican? So, I think he's a little bit serious about this. I think that he is. Who's Rayamundo? What's going on with Rayamundo? I don't know if it's William. I don't know what's going on with that one. So I think he's a little bit serious about this. I think he really does want to change the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. I don't think he's antagonizing. I think he really wants to start calling it that. He's going to be doing a lot of wild stuff. So we just gotta keep, buckling up. All right, Sonia, you're up, baby. You're up. I'm going to give you a different deck. Thank you, 008. You are fantastic. Penny D, good to see you in the chat. Foxy Penny's here. So, Lovers in reverse, Sonia. 4 of Pentacles. 3 of Cups. 6 of Pentacles. So, Sonia, situation we have here. This is what I call the suitcase position, because this is the position they have to go back. And this is a pretty deck. This is the Star Tarot. So you have to go back in time and grab this energy. So we have to, where we take charge, where we're not drifting on the winds of our lives. This is what you have to go back. Find a point in your life where you really had a lot of agency over what was going on. Go back, find that part of yourself, pack this up in your suitcase, pack this bravery up, and bring it into the future. Oh, okay. I'll check his question. We'll star it up, and I'll see if I can figure it out. So I need Christina here from Tarot Readings of the Lovers. I need her here. So the things that you need to depart from, it does provide safety and security, but you need to part from them. So you need to make yourself vulnerable in this situation. So, walking away, this is like walking away from like a pretty good situation, but it has its moments where it's not great. Um, because honestly, there is no one is coming to save you. That is really the key thing here. And too much of a good thing is never, ever, ever, it's never good. So we have to find that temperance and balance. So, you know, moving through this particular situation, you have to make some grown-up decisions here, and you have to decide if you're going to move forward. Now, the most important card that we have in this spread is that Emperor card, because the Emperor makes good decisions based on logic, not emotion. The Empress is all about the emotion and doing that stuff. But the Emperor is the one who says, this is good for me, this is not good for me, this is a place to be, this is not a place to be. So finding this courage, I think, is really important. And with that, you will have a new beginning. Your King and Queen of Swords, you don't think you think very much in emotional terms. You're more of a king or queen of cups, because you're very emotionally motivated. Motivated is the word I'm looking for, as opposed to the king and queen of swords, who and the emperor, who are very logic based. So we've got to excise the emotion out of the situation and see if you can find the logic in it. So I hope that makes some sense to you, and I hope that helps. So best of luck to you with that, sweetie. So and thanks for your patience. Blackface smile. I like your kitty cat in the picture. I have 2 house panthers myself, and we also have a piebald British short hair in the house. So, oh, good, Sonia. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad. So, love those black kitties. Love those black kitties. So, your Johnny, your fiance, has been very absent. It's not Johnny Depp, is it? We're all trying to figure out who Johnny Depp is dating. What the spirits want to show me about him? What is happening? This will be the end of our relationship? Many, many things. Okay, so let's see. Grumpy Sapper, look at you busting out the language skills. Go, man, go. So thank you, 008. Remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. I am just a psychic here in New Jersey with drones flying ahead and a sinus infection affecting my face. I got all this red light therapy going on my face. My skin looks good. I know, Grumpy Sapper. He's like Telemundo over there. So let's see what's going on with Johnny. Johnny's over there having a good time. What is going on? King of Wands, 7 of Wands, 10 of Wands, Prince of Swords, King of Cups. So yeah, I think having a talk with Johnny is a little bit important right now. I do think that there are some distractors going on in his world. I think he is considering end games and like what is going on in the relationship. So I do think that you need to have a conversation. So can't say for definite sure what's going on, but I think he is very distracted right now. I think what I've been married twice. I've had a number of significant relationships in my life. So sometimes we lose the plot, or we lose the goals at the end of in the game plan. We lose the goals, and I think he's kind of lost sight of the goals a little bit. I think his goals are shifting somewhat. So I think having a conversation about that is a really good idea. Blackface smile. um you know so I would definitely sit down and have a talk with him and just very frank, hey, is this what you want? Do we want to go to this place? Do we want to have this end game? What is happening? So I hope that helps. So here we go. Mercury and Leo lady. Did you add the lady on there? You didn't always have the lady, right? So you are welcome, Blackface Smile. Oh, I can't remember the rest of the words of it. So who loves Nina Simone in the chat? Sound better. I sound more like Nina Simone with my stuffy nose. She's one of my favorites. Which one of my friends who are spirits are around me the most? So let's pull one card. Queen of Swords. All right, let's tap into this angel. So our Queen of Swords here. And those of you that are new, I do remote viewing. I do controlled remote viewing. One of the tricks is you touch your paper with your pen. And so with my good friend Alicia Wicker, who's another content creator, tarot reader, psychic on the interwebs, she was selling these wands on her site. And I said, I wonder if the wands would work. And sure enough, now we both use wands on our cards because we get more information. So your spirit guide, this spirit guide, she doesn't have dark hair like this. She has very, very thick red hair. This is such a weird thing, but she has the same hair as my childhood friend Mary Kay. Mary Kay was like 6 feet tall when we were like 12 years old. My two good friends were both 6 feet tall when I was like 12 years old. They were ginormous, and I was like this little tiny twerp between them. But she's got really thick, bouncy hair. Just like her. It's really thick, but it's like that auburn red, very, very strong, very powerful, hazel-eyed angel. So is this a friend that passed on? I don't know if if I'm describing a real person. So yes, 6 foot tall was very tall for two 12-year-old girls. My mother was like, what are they feeding these kids? So this one has a very good sense of humor and is a little bit sarcastic in her messaging to you. So if you ever get like a message in your head that's like, oh, don't do it, girl, like, what are you, out of your mind? That's her talking. Very, very strong aura around you, very, very intense aura around you, trying to what how come that fell off? I don't know why that fell off. I don't know if I did that or if 008 did that. I could have bumped into it. Or the spirits may be here. They may be messing with my stuff. Fire Daddy! Yo, what's up? What's up, dude? Fire Daddy. Can one of the mods throw up Fire Daddy's link to his channel? And just go over and sub to him too. He is a firecracker wildcat. He is one of my favorites. I have been crazy busy, so I haven't been in your lives, dude, but I will be back. Oh, okay, more questions coming up. So yeah, that's who I think that spirit guide is. Let me get to M. Can you get a general read? Yeah, where you are now. M, you are fantastic. I love seeing you in the chat. M is a member of the channel. So let's do this. Oh, Mercury and Leo, I stopped. I got thrown off. So we'll talk a little bit more about her later. Okay, so stick around. Remind me to talk about her a little bit more. So general read for you. Unprotected. What's going on there? What is going on there? Justice, the Lovers. M, what are you doing? So M, there's a situation that's coming apart at the seams. Now it's a justice situation. It getting out of this, and I can't remember if you had some kind of court thing going on or some kind of dispute going on. I vaguely remember that, but it looks like it's coming undone. All the information is out. It's coming undone. It's going to alleviate your pressure. So I think that this is a good thing. Once the decision comes down, the situation breaks apart and it speeds off into a different direction. How do you wind up at the end of it all? Just fine. You're going to be in a position of power. So whatever that is that's ailing you, that's troubling you, have no fear. It is going to wrap up fairly quickly. So I hope that that's okay. What do you need to know for the rest of the week? Oh, okay. So just kind of let that go. All the information is out there and the judgment's going to be taken care of. So don't worry about that. Da, 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 da. All right. So crantastic. And thank you for your contribution, Em. You are fantastic. I think I'm going to do some of my lives a little bit earlier. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. 008. That's okay. No, not to worry. They're not. See, I know a little Spanish too there, Grumpy Sapper. Nichivo. I'm better at the Russian, though. Очень плохо. So, So, Raimundo, I'm going to come back to you. I've got your question here, but I'm going to come back to you. Sit tight. Uno momento. Por favor. Oh, it's Portuguese. It's Portuguese. I don't know Portuguese at all. I know nothing in Portuguese. So, are the fires natural or not? I was going to be doing a reading on this later. We're going to switch up decks. And I am not going to pull out my Alicia Wicker deck because it is buried under some paperwork and my external hard drive right now. So, are the fires natural? So there are reports of individuals, some unhomed people starting fires out there right now. So let's focus on the big 4 points because there's 4 big points. There was one point that started up in the hills in a fairly wooded area. Then there's a claim that there was there was a trigger point in somebody's backyard. So let's see. Point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4. Excuse me. So I do think that we've got some odd occurrences here, which it doesn't mean that those were set. This one is different. These, I think, are incidents, blowovers, and I lived out in California, so I remember them saying, "Oh, this high fire, no fire pits, anything like that." So here, these are, the origin. The origin fire, I think, is this one. Now, I'm not breaking these down into areas, but I think the origin fire is this one. And these are adjacent and were kind of kicked up from the blowover. This one is critical. This one, I think, is much closer to the neighborhoods. So I do think that there's some fuddy-duddy going on there. Are the chemtrails contributing? Is that the alarm already? Just hang on, please hold. Thank you very much, guys. So, did the chemtrails have anything to do with this? So, there is something about accelerant going on. Um, I don't know. Not the chemtrails, but there's something about accelerant that's there. Now, I don't know if this is natural or if it's um, something unusual. But it could be the brush because they typically don't clean up the brush there. So it could be something like that. Um, there's certainly something is odd about this. I'm gonna do Star Peak. I promise I'm gonna do a much bigger reading on this, and that I'll probably get done tomorrow. So keep an eye out for it. Keep an eye out for it. So, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So many questions. We might have to close down the questions. I see Candy. Hi, Candy. So, we might have to close down the questions because I've got 17 ahead. So, will I be able to stay working with Robert Half Agency after this job? Oh, look at that. That's insurance, isn't it? Isn't that insurance? 3. But do you really want to? I don't know if you really want to. I do think that there's an opportunity that is not revealed yet. I think that they will reveal it. I think they will say, "Oh, we're looking for somebody to come on board." I don't know if you're in a temp capacity there, but I don't know if you're going to love that job. I think you're going to like it once you're permanently there, but I don't know if you're going to love it. I don't know if you're going to love it. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps. Odd question. Dave, so odd question. Can you see? And if so, tell people how long they will live. Hang on, I'm coughing. Jessi Mae, you're next. Don't worry. Hang on. I'm just blowing my nose and I didn't want you guys to hear it. I'm not gone. Coming right back in. Just chill out. I'm still here. Still here. Sorry, I was trying to be discreet. So, yes, I don't dig into when people are going to be live. When people are going to live until. I know how I have 2 ways that I've agreed to go out. So I neither of them are nice. But there are 2 ways that I am going to leave the planet. So and I don't know when exactly that's going to happen. I think I get to pick like the exit date as we go along. But that is one of the things that we do when we talk to our HR directors on the spirit side, when in between lifetimes, we get to talk to them about the ways and means that we're going to go out. So I don't typically read that for people. And if I do encounter it, I don't tell them, it's really, because you don't want it to become a self-fulfilling prophecy, but you're going to live to a ripe old age. So I think that's fantastic. So good question. I shy away from that. Jessi Mae, we're up to you. Jessi Mae. Grumpy doesn't sleep. He's like Donald Trump. He's like 2 hours a day. No, he like gets into his work and he's like, ooh, I'm working. So, all right, Jessi Mae, what's ahead for you in life? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. New start. Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups. Parting of the ways from that Shady McShadester, because you ain't no fool, girl. You know what goes on. So, I don't know. Are you, it looks like the relationship home life is not as fulfilling as you would like it to be. So, we're going to make some changes with that. So, and when I say a new start, it doesn't mean that it necessarily has to be a breakup. It can be a reignition of the relationship. So we can make some changes and say, "Hey, I've seen the nonsense that you're doing. You're not pulling your weight. You're not taking the garbage out. You're not walking the dog. You're not mowing the lawn. You're not doing the things that you need to do." So put the remote control down and let's get to work, because this is a team effort. With the Five of Swords here, Five of Axes in this deck, that is, somebody did all the heavy lifting on that fight. And they go, well, what am I doing? I'm standing here. I put the Christmas decorations up. I took them down. Now I got to stick them in the basement. Now, I'm doing all the work. I'm doing all the things. I need you to pull your weight. And that's really what this conversation is about. In a position of being able to direct that traffic with the Magician up at the top, the Wort in this deck. So you're absolutely in a position where you can kind of direct the traffic on that. So if that makes sense, this could be at home, it could be at work. I think it's at home. I hope I'm not insulting anyone. So I hope that makes sense. Hope that makes sense. So so there we go. We're going to take that down, hide that comment. And did we get the translation for, here we go. Okay. Oh boy, Henry Charles Albert David. So that is, let me get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. So this is how it translates. Netflix Nostradamus predictions for Harry. So I did a 2025. I don't know if you can understand what I'm saying. I did a 2025 prediction for Harry. So I've got a long form video for that. But for right now, he has some very funky feelings about his mother. I do have a video that I'm going to be recording over the weekend. How does Harry really feel about his mother? I think he has, and this sounds terrible. Like, I don't want anyone to think I'm talking poorly about Diana, Princess of Wales, but he needs to stop anglicizing her. He really has put her up on this crazy pedestal that she has not done anything wrong, and that the whole world is against him, and he's using that as a cloak so that he can kind of run his gig the same way. Which is, he's like, the whole world is against me. It's so the worst thing that could have happened was he could have met Megan, and it's like me and you against the world, like everyone's out to get us. So I do think that I'm predicting now that he is going to change his perspective about his mother, that the pain of carrying that, and the and the worst part is that he's going to have to realize that his mother was flawed as well. So that she was not the perfect person, that it wasn't the entire palace against her. So there's going to be a little bit of a crisis for him, and we see that here. We see that he's going to fall into a little bit of blackness, but it's all good, because he's going to break this cycle of poor little me. I'm just like my mother. I'm persecuted just like my mother. So I do think that he is going to come to that determination. So we'll see that happen. We'll see that happen probably in a bit. So just, I think we need to be patient. He needs to get through the nonsense. So Grumpy, thank you for doing that translation. That is super duper, man. Super duper, man. Yes, Renee, I have used cards to read someone's pet. In fact, at my old corporate job, I got outed on a national call with about 8,000 people on it. Somebody said, well, Anna's a psychic. She works as a psychic. And I almost died on the spot. So we had an event. We did a pet fashion show. It was over the pandemic. And I said, well, I'll read some tarot cards. So I have the Grimalkin deck, which has a lot of cats in it. And I have a dog tarot, specifically a dog tarot deck. So maybe one night we'll do a live, and we'll just read for people's pets. So that'll be fun. I'll do that. I'll do that soon. Hi, Gregopedia.
Hi.
It was very hot over here, isn't it?
No, it's cold.
What, are you serious?
Yes.
You're cold?
Cold.
Oh, I have this crazy sweater on. So yes, Renee. So I'll schedule a pet reading. Yes. Oh, I did. Penny, I read your dog. That's right. Yeah, I did. We'll do a pet reading. I'll have a pet night one night. So Maria.
You're gonna be a pet psychic?
Why? Why? What's wrong with being a pet psychic? What? Why are you laughing? Pet psychic. I have a cousin in North Carolina, and she's actually an animal communicator. So what? Why? What? I don't like the noises you're making over there, Gregopedia. If you guys don't know Gregopedia, he is my giant-headed husband. You have a giant head.
It's actually very small in proportion to the rest of my body.
It is not. You got a great big melon, man. It's like Sputnik. Okay, so Maria, we've got 2 questions here. So what is going to happen with me and my partner Philippe? It is not easy for us. He's ignoring me, doesn't want to talk. I feel he cheats on me over the internet. What will happen? Okay. He's not being very nice. So we'll leave that one up there. So swap up decks. Yes, Renee, I think it is because you found the lost dog. Everyone knows you're remote viewing, finding that lost dog. It was quite miraculous. That was your 3rd remote view, wasn't it?
Me?
You.
Me? Yes. I figured by now you'd no longer be amazed by these things that I can do.
Maria. Maria. The cards are not looking good, princess. So, this 10 of Pentacles, and then we have the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, both in reverse. it looks like this may not be the fit that you want it to be. The good news is that in the center, when we do walk away from situations like this, if we keep our judgment, if we decide not to continue, it frees up energetic space for us to find someone else. It brings someone who is more appropriate into us. Um, so, again, I think this is a conversation where, we sit down with our partner and we say, hey, I wouldn't worry about like whether he's cheating or anything like that. I think this is more of, you're just boats going in a different direction. Um, the end game is not the immediate game. I shouldn't even say the end game. The immediate game is just not cohesive. It's just not congruent. So I think conversation needs to be had, honey. So, um, even though you're very sad right now, and when you have that conversation, you may be sad after the conversation. When the pressure of it is taken off, I think you may feel very differently, because you'll be able to go through your day in a happy fashion. You're a beautiful girl. You are a gorgeous girl. Let's see if there's anything, any sweethearts in the future for you, anything sweet for you. There are hidden things that you will find when you look for them, when you are freed up. There we will find true love. So this is not your one true love. This is not the only one. I think we have a lot of loves in our lives. We have a lot of people that we feel differently about. Our personalities and our perspective changes about every 7 years as an adults. That's why the adult friendships you make typically last about um, last about 7 years or so. So, really, I think it is there's more out there for you. There's more out there for you. So I hope that helps. Don't think that this is the only fish and chip shop in London. And that's okay. 32 years old, that's okay. You've been together for 8 years. It's okay. That's young. That is young, sweetheart. That is a young age. So, and you're absolutely stunningly beautiful. So, humanaki. I hope that helps, honey. Um, Grandma Mimi, do I feel icky when most of the cards, not when most of the cards come up in reverse. It's just thank you, my dear Maria. Thank you. Um, it's when it's hard information, like I've had to give 2 hard readings in here. So, it's hard information. So, humanaki, the weird thing is that I was thinking the same thing. Is there is there something going on with Diddy? So let's see. Um, so I do think that there are people that are taking advantage of the situation. I think there are people that are getting rid of things. What's really curious, and I don't know if everybody knows this. I didn't know it, and I used to work in insurance, but my VIP that I was talking to mentioned it. She said not long ago, all these companies in California were canceling fire policies. So a lot of these homes that have been flamed up are going to have not going to have any fire insurance. They're not going to have insurance coverage. So, this is potentially really devastating for some people. So, is it specifically to hide the Diddy stuff? No. Are people taking advantage? of the smokescreen, literally the smokescreen, yes. There are some people that are, for lack of a better word or term, burying the bodies. But it's going to suss out. We're going to find out about it. It's going to be pretty obvious what went on there. So, there's some weird stuff that's going on. Some weird stuff that's going on. So, Raymundo, we've got another translation. The future of the monarchy. I don't know anything about the Lion King right now. So, future of the monarchy. Right away, Charles is going to step down at some point. He wants some options. He's gonna come off the job. Now I'm gonna do a reading on that because I kept saying I think he's going to abdicate, but a lot of people are saying he's never gonna abdicate. It's gonna be a regency. So I'm gonna do a reading and see if it's gonna be a regency. But I do think that Charles is going to still be alive and he's gonna step back from his duties due to his health. He's gonna pass it over to William. How is William's reign gonna be? Disastrous. Not disastrous. It's going to be changing. So, and I've been saying this for a while. I think that the monarchy is going to go into a format of a family business versus a monarchy. So I do think that it is going to pare down significantly. Just by birth, you are not going to be entitled to all these goodies. I think they're going to say, well, if you want to be part of the family business, then you can come on in and you can work real hard and you can be part of the family business, but no more of this, flitting around a castle and not really doing anything. And you're playing polo on the weekends and you're just being, and I do think that Harry was a big component of this. I think that they are seeing the excess, and I think, the expenditures for the people that really don't do much for the family, it's going to be cut back significantly. So all of the cousins and people that are living on grace and favor properties, all of that I think is really going to come to a close. It's just an old-fashioned idea. Now, George is a little bit different. I don't know if George ever makes it to the throne. I think he winds up being like a president or a CEO of, like the Duchy of Cornwall or something like that. But I don't think that the monarchy exists after William the way that we know that it does. And it pains me to say that. I just think that it's going to be very, very different. And I just think, that it's just the way that things are going. So I'm trying to, just a few months ago. Yeah, insurance companies were canceling policies. Community was our community was going to consider a fight, and we were told if you can move into a new home in the area, we can't cover you. Yeah, that's what's going on. So it is so wrong. And having been somebody in insurance, I can tell you insurance companies are not in the business of paying claims. They're in the business of taking premiums. So what my VIP had said to me was that the fire claims in California, they're paying out $1.25 on every dollar of premium they had taken in. So it was not a business model that was sustainable. So I don't know if George is going to make it to the throne. I mean, I think George will continue to exist, but I don't think he is going to be a monarch. I think the last coronation we're going to see is William's, unless something changes. So there we go. I'm not going to talk about The Lion King, the movie. I don't watch a whole lot of movies. I wish I did. Jeannie. So has your father reincarnated? So I have I'll switch this around just for a minute. We're not done with cards, but so I have this this idea about how reincarnation works. So what I think happens is after we pass on from this life, we go into what I call the in-between. And so you're hanging out in there. You have your HR directors And your spiritual HR directors are the ones that kind of tell you where to go and what you're doing and help you out, help you ascend. And when you go in there, you have your oversoul, and you also have the terrestrial being that you were in this lifetime. So both of those stay in the in between for a little while. When you reincarnate, the oversoul goes off and goes into another life and develops a new personality, acts a little bit different. But the terrestrial soul, the terrestrial personality that you were, will stay in that in between. So we can still kind of hang out with them, but we don't get that feeling that they're still with us. So and also I think that if someone is taken off the earth plane before they're supposed to go, they get to age out in there. So they get to stay in there for a long time. Like I always use John Benet Ramsey as an example. You know, she was taken off the earth plane. She's in that in between, getting to age out until the age of when she would have naturally passed over and gone on to reincarnation. So she gets to age out in there. Your father, that being said, yes, Jackie, it's worse than a Ponzi scheme. So your father, where are we looking? Knight of Wands, in process. Actually, let me look at that. I do think he's forged ahead. I do think he's forged ahead. So that doesn't mean that you still can't contact and that you still don't get those kind of feelings. Greg's best friend passed away 4 years ago, and we felt him very strongly in the house, and he was very obviously hanging around our house, and he was here all the time. What'd you say? Pervert, yes. The pervert. But Chris actually like moved things in our house, flipped lights off, and the light switches, not just the lights. And he moved. I told this story on my members live. So we have a fruit bowl in the middle of the table, and he actually, I was doing a reading for his brother, and we were talking about him obviously, and he moved an apple up and over an orange in the fruit bowl. And his brother goes, "What the blankety blank was that?" We were like, "Well, you know, weird stuff happens like that around here." So you know, when they're really in that powerful state, when they still have the oversoul and the terrestrial soul together, or terrestrial personality, when they're still there, there's a lot more energy behind them that can do things like that. As they pass on, they as that the oversoul passes on into another incarnation, they get a little bit weakened. So you know, we still can have conversations with them. You can have a conversation more with the terrestrial personality, than getting like these great lofty answers like about the universe. So just keep that in mind. You can still contact the shade of your father is still in that in between, because that's the one that greets us at the door when we pass over. You know, it's that shade, it's that familiarity that meets us there. So, you know, you can still have that conversation, just that the amount of energy, because the oversoul's gone over, really isn't there. So, Grumpy has a list of people that he's coming back to haunt. Yeah. My mother says she's going to haunt her house. She's like, "I'm going to haunt this house." So that's the house that they just took off the market, which is fantastic. So I hope that that answered your question. I do think he's passed on. So, but you can still talk to him. You can still have a conversation. So Rockin' Robin, tweet, tweet. All right. So what's going to happen in my future? So, all right, Robin, I want to let you know something. So, oh, the mods are going for each other. It's like a blood sport. So, Robin, I'm going to tell you about the opportunities that are going to come up for you in the future. Nothing is carved in stone. So I always give this example. I can tell you that you're going to meet your love of your life at the corner of 5th and E. If you decide to go down 4th Avenue, you're not going to meet the love of your life. So, I'm going to tell you the opportunities that are available for you. Whether you take up those opportunities, that is up to you. So there are very few things that are static and faded in our lives. Not this life, our lives. So we got 3 fun things going on. Oh, let me make these cards bigger for you, so you guys can see them a little bit better. So we got 1, 2, 3. They go in sequential order. So the first opportunity that is going to come up for you is you're going to have an opportunity to change direction of your whole life. And this is something that's going to be, you're going to be dissuaded by your folks, the people that are around you. They're going to say, this is crazy. Why would you uproot everything? And you will have the choice to say, yes, I am going to make a radical and significant change in my life. If you do so, it is going to be a super, super fun experience, but you're probably going to come home. So this is almost like a sabbatical from your life, from the life that you know right now. So maybe if we were in the 70s or something, I'd say, oh, like you're going to go into the Peace Corps and you're going to go hang out in, some foreign country for, 2 to 3 years. You're going to have a great time there. So Foxy, you used to sing Rockin' Robin. It's going to be stuck in your head now. So, it'll be a great adventure. It will be a great learning experience. You'll have great stories from it. You will come back and kind of have to reset your pathway. And that'll be a little bit stressful, but I think you come back all the wiser. You come back as this beautiful blue man. So yes, this beautiful blue man, you come back extremely wise. And that is something experientially you need to have. You need to have these experiences. Put a pause on your life for a little bit. So I don't know if it's a leave of absence. I don't know if this is prolonged travel, something like that. But this definitely is an adventure that you're going to go on. So a very Bilbo Baggins kind of experience. I don't know if you come back with a ring. I don't know if you come back with a dragon. I don't know what you come back with, but there is an opportunity for you to kind of spread your wings, Rockin' Robin. Spread your wings. So interesting things will be afoot. I say when adventure calls, jump on it. I've gone on many, many, many adventures. Adventures. So adventure is fun. So let's bring up our last question of the night. Candy, 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 I can't let you go. Name that song. I can't sing it. It's Iggy Pop. Iggy Pop sometimes has a really high voice. I know that sounds weird, but I shouldn't say that. He's very hard for me to sing. Hang on, Mercury and Leo. I'm gonna pump you up. We're gonna go back to you because I didn't finish you. So Mercury and Leo will be the last ones. Mercury and Leo lady. You added that lady, didn't you? Or did you? Is this like a what do you call it when you a Mandela effect? So Candy, is Yenner going to visit you soon? Yenner. Empress. Yenner has not decided. Ooh, 2 of Swords, 2 of Pentacles, the Devil. There's something he can't tear himself away from. Yeah, there's something he can't tear himself away from. There's something he has to finish before he can come and visit you. So give him a little bit of time. The Empress is in reverse. I don't know if his mama is holding him back, or if something else is holding him back, but it's taking care of something. He struggles with the decision though. So what's going to motivate him to move his butt? What's going to motivate him? Chariot. He's going to get itchy feet. It's not going to be soon. He's tearing himself away from some responsibility. So, so be it. Let that happen. Let that happen. So, do. I didn't see that. I've been so sick the last couple of days. I've just been hitting the sack. So, there we go. Mercury and Leo. All right. So, not sure if he has family or not. So there's something he's not tearing himself away from, Candy. So, Mercury and Leo. Okay. So we're going to talk more about, yes, he will eventually. He is going to come and visit you eventually. So Mercury and Leo. So we've got, let me tune back into her, and I'm going to pull a card view down because this is the last one. I am cooked for the night. So, ouch. All right. So where is she? I got her. All right. Yeah, honestly, like I know this is a hard one, because you guys really haven't met her, but she reminds me of my girlfriend Kathy. Her spirit friend reminds me of Kathy, Greg. She's very sarcastic, but it comes out of a place of love. She's the kind of gal that will smack it out of you, like you're just oh, Grandma Mimi, I wish I could. I'm on antibiotics. I can't. None of that wine stuff. Not this week.
Yes, she's terrifyingly affectionate.
Terrifyingly affectionate is a really good description. I think that's Angus trying to come in the house. Yeah. Terrifyingly affectionate, but bossy in a great way. Very protective. So she is almost the kind of person that would deflect any negativity from you. In fact, I do think that she kind of hangs around you and individuals sense her there, if that makes sense. So she's kind of like a guard dog for you, which I think is really a great friend to have on board. What concerns does she have about you? She's more concerned about your trusting nature than you are, quite frankly. She thinks that you're a little too generous with people.
Terrifyingly caring.
Terrifyingly caring. She thinks that you give people too much time. That when people show what kind of jerks they are, that you kind of suffer fools gladly. I hate to say that. But she thinks, she's almost like, all right, you're good, man. So do you ever go to the bar with like your girlfriends, and there's like some bozo is hitting on you, and he's bringing you drinks, and he's trying to make something happen, and you're just being like overly polite, and just trying to deflect this dude, and your girlfriend comes over and she's like, no, she said no, bozo, she's not interested, give it up and stop buying drinks. So like that is what your spirit guide, your spirit friend is. She's very much like that. She will step in and kind of shuffle someone off into the distance. So, I think, if you disagree, if you disagree, oh, everyone's saying hyperactivity. I'm trying to follow the chat too. You send them away. If she thinks you don't do it fast enough. Renee, is that you? My girlfriend Kathy's like that. You go see her in my shorts. She on election night, she was over here and she got down on the floor. She was praying for the election, and my dog jumped up and got in her face, and she said, "Don't effing bite me, dog. I'll bite your head off, bitch." And it's very funny. My friend Kathy is beautiful. She's fantastic. But so this was great fun. Those of you that are just coming in, I'm calling it a night. I've had this horrible sinus infection for a few days, so I'm still recovering, but I wanted to stick around for a live. I will have another live on Friday. As of right now, I am still having a live on Friday, but we will. I'm looking at, I'm like, where'd this private chat come from? It's 008. So Friday, 8 o'clock, it's going to be, or actually, I think I'm going to move it up because I think it's a little bit better for everybody at an earlier time. So maybe we'll try 6 o'clock, and that way we'll have like a 2-hour jump, and everything will be great. But I hope that everybody had fun. Everybody have fun? Thumbs up. Thumbs up. All right. So a good time hopefully was had by all. If I didn't get to your question, guys, just hit me up on Friday. I'm going to try and do 2 general lives a week now. I don't know if that's going to be too much of a schedule for me, but I'm going to give it a shot. I will have one for yes, we're supposed to have a big snowstorm on Saturday, Kimberly. That's supposed to be so much fun. So oh, thumbs up. Everybody's got thumbs up. So all right, kids, I am going to go serve dinner to my family at almost 10 o'clock at night. And I love you all. Thank you very much for being here. And I will see you all in the future. Bye-bye.